Live again. And we're live. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Game 1 of the 2025 National League Wildcard Series here in the north side of Chicago. Game 1 between the Cubs and the San Diego Padres. And welcome back. Booth in this one. I'm Josh Wright with the call. I apologize that I had to wait a little bit to get the postseason, the simulation series started. Just had a lot going on college-wise. But my roommate is gone for the weekend, which means I can stream and bring you guys some postseason baseball. And ironically, I'm doing the Cubs and Padres. If you guys could see on the thumbnail of this stream, I'm a huge fan of the St. Louis Cardinals, so doing a Cubs series is, well, it's nobody's favorite if you're a Cardinals fan. Cubs series usually aren't my favorite, but we'll have some fun with this because why not, you know? Gotta have some fun. Cubs and Padres, Nick Pivetta on the mound for the Padres. Cubs will have the lefty Matthew Boyd. And there is the man himself, Matthew Boyd, on the mound. Those are not his stats from 2025. He has much better stats than that. As a matter of fact, he was an all-star in 2025, signed a one-year deal with the Cubs. And yeah, he's been really good for them this year. The Cubs starting pitching pretty strong. Him and Shotei Managa were both the big key roles for the Cubs in their 2025 campaign. 2-0 pitch to Tatis. Fastball out, misses for ball 3. And I don't know why it's showing the graphic that this is their first plate appearances in the postseason, because it's not. And a 4-pitch walk to Tatis to get things going. Here's Luis Arias. No, this is not his first postseason party. He's had a couple with the Padres. He's had a couple from his early days with the Minnesota Twins. I believe he was on the Marlins when they made the playoffs in 2023. 0-1 pitch from Boyd. Runners going, throw down by Kelly. No throw to second as he drops the ball. So Tatis is at second with a 1-1 count from Matthew Boyd. Out of the way. A friend of mine was suggesting that we could do the simulation series together. And it's like, it's not a bad idea. It's just scheduling and time commitment and technical difficulties, I think, would play a big role in that, but a grounder to first in time. Here's the Padre lineup. Fernando Tatis was leading off. Luis Arias, Manny Machado. Then it's Jackson Morrell. Alexander Bogarts batting fifth at short. Ryan O'Hearn, Gavin Sheets, Jake Cronenworth, and Freddie Freeman doing the catching here in this one. Here's Manny Machado, been in the league since 2012. Started off his career with the Orioles. He was a part of their postseason, their playoff teams in 2012, 2014, and 2016. Of course, as you all know, in the middle of 2018 was traded to the Dodgers and then became a free agent, signed with the Padres. Been a Padres since 2019. It's crazy to think that he's been in the league. He's been with San Diego now for almost 7 years. I think this is year 7 for Tatis also, which is crazy to think about. Here's a 3-0 from Machado. There's a fastball, 3-1. 3-1 the count. Tatis, the runner at third. There's ball 4. Another walk issued by Boyd. It's first and third, 1 out. And now bring in Jackson Morel. Morel, a great rookie season. We talk about how in football, some quarterbacks like C.J. Stroud kind of had a sophomore slump. Jackson Morel, he had a little bit of a sophomore slump also. In 2025, there's a fastball 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Boyd with the nasty slider. Kind of fools Morel. So so 2 outs, runners at first and third for San Diego. Here's Bogaerts.
That's out.
First pitch outside for ball 1. This is not Xander Bogaerts' first rodeo in the postseason. 2018, that was a really fun Red Sox team. Very fun Red Sox team to watch. It seemed like they were hot from the very start of the season to the very beginning. I know for some people, like Yankee fans, that Red Sox team probably was a nightmare to watch. But that was when they had like David Price, Chris Sale in the rotation. Mookie Betts, Xander Bogaerts were the 2 stars of that team on the offensive side. Rafael Devers, I believe, was a rookie in 2018. That was, I believe, Dustin Pedroia's like one of his last seasons. I said one of his last seasons. I know that wasn't his like last season, like 100%, but Bogaerts grounder to Bush, races to the bag, covers for the out, and the Cubs will come to bat in the bottom of the inning when we return. There's Nick Pivetta. Speaking of former Boston Red Sox, Nick Pivetta started his career out in Philly and then went to Boston, and now here he is in San Diego. As you can see, he didn't have the prettiest 2024 season. He bounced back, though, in 2025.
Ball, that's out.
Bush, first pitch to him is a ball. And it's 1-0. Michael Bush started his career with the Dodgers. Came to the Cubs, I believe, in a trade. He was either traded to the Cubs or he was DFA'd by the Dodgers, and then the Cubs claimed him or something. I don't remember. There's a cutter taken for strike 2. Cutter 2-2. Have a big weekend coming up on the sports side of things. There's a volleyball game tonight. 12-6 curve, strike 3 call. That was nowhere near the strike zone. Man, can't believe Bush was fooled on that. Kind of looked more like a knuckleball than anything. Bush must really like the high ones. 1 out, here's Nico Horner. First pitch to him is taken for ball 1. Horner, by far, is probably one of my favorite players on the Cubs to watch. He's a solid hitter, good leadoff hitter. He's got good defense at second base. Just you know, I'm supposed to not really like Nico Horner, but
3 balls, 2 strikes.
But at the end of the day, I feel like I'm still allowed to, you know, have favorite players on teams that I don't like. Nico Horner just happens to be one of those guys. 3-2 pitch. Horner grounder to second. Cronenworth fires to first in time for out number 2. Here's the Cubs lineup in this one. Bush leads off, then Nico Horner, Ian Happ, Kyle Tucker, Seiya Suzuki, Carson Kelly, PCA, the center fielder, bats 7th, Dansby Swanson, and Matt Shaw, the third baseman, bats 9th. Here's Ian Happ with 2 outs here in the bottom of inning number 1. Padres and Cubs, winner of this series, will head to Milwaukee and face the Brewers. Of course, that's what the Cubs are going to do in real life. Play the Brewers. That's going to be a really fun postseason series to watch. I honestly don't know who I would root for out of those two teams since they're division rivals. I honestly don't know. My thing is, whenever I watch a game and my teams aren't playing, I don't really root for anybody. And it's not that I don't care about either team. I do care about the teams. It's just, I don't know. It's like, I kind of like to root for just for players. And also, it's like I'm going to school to be a sports announcer. It's like one of the number 1 rules is that, you know, you can't be biased towards a certain team. Unless if you're doing like regional stuff. Like if I was covering for like one team specifically, then yeah, I could be somewhat biased. But if I'm doing something like a national game, like a playoff game, you know, I have to be neutral. I have to be excited for both teams. Like if the Padres get a hit, I can be excited, and then I got to be excited if the Cubs do something too. Hopefully that makes sense to some people. There's a fly ball to center. PCA makes the catch. That's out number 1. Matthew Boyd had a bit of a rough first inning. He allowed 2 walks, but he also had 2 strikeouts.
Off the plate, ball 1.
He's already getting into the lower half of the Padres lineup. 1-0 pitch to Gavin Sheets. This guy started off his career in Chicago with the White Sox and then came over to San Diego in a trade after he wasn't doing well in Chicago.
Ball 3.
Fastball misses 3-0.
3-0.
Oh, you know, it'd be really fun if we did like a Cancun postseason series. That'd be fun. Just have it be like the 4, like the worst teams in baseball, and then have them go up against teams that were like good teams that didn't make the playoffs. You know, like have like the Mets face like the Rockies, the Giants face like the Pirates or something like that. White Sox would play, I don't know, Houston. You know, that's an idea. 2 outs here is Jake Cronenworth. Came up during the COVID season. Actually got to watch his debut, so I had Hulu Live for a little bit. And ironically, we got a channel that aired San Diego Padres games. Like we had Fox Sports San Diego. And so like we would watch Padres games. And I actually got to watch Jake Cronenworth's first game, which was pretty cool. Padres in 2020, they were a fun team to watch.
Ball, that's out.
that year. 2-2 the count from Boyd to Cronenworth. There's a strikeout. And we go to the bottom of inning number 2. No score here at Wrigley. Cubs and Padres, that is the matchup here today. Game 1 of the 3-game wild card series. There's a cutter to Kyle Tucker, taken for strike 1. The middle half of the Cubs lineup due up. It is Tucker, then I believe Seiya Suzuki, and then Kelly. Carson Kelly, the Cubs catcher. That is in the center. Morrell will make the catch. 1 down here in the bottom of inning number 2.
That is it. The right fielder, Seiya Suzuki.
So 1 away here in the bottom of inning number 2. That's going to bring in Seiya Suzuki. I'm probably going to repeat myself here, but he's another guy that I really enjoy watching. I don't know what it is. Like, I've always enjoyed watching like a lot of like Asian players, like Japanese players, Korean players, Taiwanese players, you know. I don't know what it is. Like, I really enjoy watching those guys just because, like, they're just super humble. You know, they're very respectful, very humble. Like, if you watched, I remember I don't remember if it was Seiya Suzuki's press conference or it was Imanaga's press conference. It was one of the two. But they were just super chill guys. They were just super funny. I think one of them at the end said, "Go Cubs, go." I was like, okay, this guy's already dedicated to the Cubs, and I love it.
That's ball 2.
2-0 pitch to Kelly. Carson Kelly started off his career with the Cardinals and then bounced around in Arizona and Detroit. He's going to ground out to third. And a double play ends the second. 2 scoreless innings here at Wrigley Field. We go to the 3rd inning. Freddie Fermin will lead off. Start off the season with the Royals. Came over to San Diego in a trade. Matthew Boyd back on the mound. I decided to not have quick counts on for the postseason, which means when we wrap up the Cardinals franchise that I'm doing, and we get to their postseason, I'll have the quick counts off. Here's the 0-2 to Fermin. He hits the fly ball into shallow right. Horner comes in, makes the play for out number 1. That's what I'm talking about. Nico Horner. Not only is he fun with the bat, he's fun on the field. He's fun with the glove, even when he's making plays like that. Here's Tatis, led off the game with a walk. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Matthew Boyd, I believe, already has, I think, 2 or 3 strikeouts in this game. Here's a 1-2. Foul away. For those who are just tuning in, top of inning number 3. Here at Wrigley Field, Cubs and Padres. Game 1 of the wild card series. Winner will play the Brewers in the NLDS. The other National League wild card series, the Reds will head out to LA to play the Dodgers. And then on the American League side, as PCA makes the catch for out number 2. American League side, we got the Tigers facing Cleveland. And then the Red Sox and Yankees. Since 1999, this will be the 6th Red Sox-Yankees playoff series. 6 of them since 1999. Arias with a base hit to left. That is, I believe, his first hit of the game for the Padres. And now bring in Manny Machado. He also walked his last time up. He had 105 RBIs in the 2024 season. That's crazy. I didn't realize he had that many. 1-0 pitch to the veteran third baseman. Machado had 95 RBIs in 2025, 4.1 WAR. Him and Tatis were the best 2 players on the Padres hitting-wise when it came to the offense.
3 balls, 1 strike.
3-1 the count. There's a fastball, 3-2. Fouled off once more. Grounder to Swanson in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Is underway. No score.
Leading off for the Cubs, the center fielder, Pete Armstrong.
Ball 1.
One-zero pitch to PCA. There's a fastball, 1-1. Pete Armstrong, drafted by the Mets. And then was traded for Javier Baez in 2021. There's a fly ball to right. That ball is down. PCA on his way to second. The second hit of the night for the Northsiders. And it's a leadoff double. Here's Swanson. First pitch up high, 1-0. Well, you know what's interesting is I remember in the 2020 draft when Pete Armstrong was drafted, I was watching like mock drafts, and a lot of people actually had him going to the Cubs. Well, he gets drafted by the Mets. Traded, and he eventually does get traded to the Cubs for Baez, who's currently with the Tigers. Had a really good season in Detroit, which is crazy, especially since the last few years he's been kind of a meme. Runner at second, nobody out. 12-6 curve in is going to miss the ball too. We've been live for 24 minutes. In the bottom of the 3rd inning, 3-2 count from Pivetta. Matt Shaw's on deck. Swing and a miss. Swanson strikes out. That's the 3rd of the day for Nick Pivetta. And now bring in Matt Shaw. Was the #1 prospect for the Cubs. The number 20 prospect in all of baseball. There's a strike 0-2. So yeah, one of my roommates going home for the weekend.
That's a ball.
Which makes me happy because that means I get my room to myself. I get to do some broadcasting, which is awesome because kind of hard to do when he's here. Because usually whenever I play video games, like he plays video games too. Like he's got a PS5, small Samsung TV. I was just looking at his side of the room. Here's the 2-2. Shaw hits a high fly ball to left. Back at the wall, he will make the catch. PCA will stay put at second.
Now batting, the first baseman.
With 2 outs, here's Michael Bush. Bush struck out in his last at bat. Fastball 1-0. Cutter, 1 ball, 1 strike. Runner at second, 2 out. Here's the 1-2 to Bush. And strikes out looking to end the inning. End of 3 here at Wrigley. There's no score.
Leading off for the Padres, the center fielder, number 3, Jackson Merrill.
Oh, we're in the 4th inning. Game 1 of a 3-game wild card series between the Chicago Cubs and the San Diego Padres. Three balls, no strikes to Morel. There's a grounder off the glove of Horner. Morel is aboard first base with no problems. And I think they're going to rule that. Nope, they're going to call that an infield single.
Outside, that's a ball.
So now here's Xander Bogaerts. So 0 for 1 here today. Snacking on some Skittle gummies. Things are pretty good. My dad introduced me to them when they came out. Enjoyed them ever since. PCA for Grant, fly out to center, 1 away. Here's Ryan O'Hearn.
Ryan O'Hearn.
Throughout the week, I'm not too sure how much streaming I'm going to be able to get done. I have a couple exams next week. Runners going, throw down, and safe. As it is midterms. And of course studying more.
Nope, outside.
2-2. Grounder to Dangerby. 2 away. Yeah, this weekend I'm let's see, there's a volleyball game tonight at 6 o'clock p.m. Central Time. I don't know if I'm going to go to it, but I might, because I don't know. Football game tomorrow night. Sunday, I'm not sure what I'm going to do Sunday yet. And then all next week, obviously, I got classes. I have a couple exams. I have one that's on Wednesday. I believe I have one Thursday, too. And then I'm going to be out of town next weekend, so... Yeah, grounder to Bush. And we go to the bottom of the 4th. Warner, Happ, and Tucker all do up when we return. Go score.
Leading off for the Cubs, the second baseman,
Nico Horner leads off for the Cubs here in the bottom of the 4th inning. I had an idea where since I was kind of behind, I was going to skip the wild card series and then go right into the division series. But then I was like, you know what, it probably wouldn't be complete without the wild card games, so yeah, that's what we're doing.
Ball 2.
2 balls, 1 strike to count.
3 balls, 1 strike.
3-1 pitch to Horner. He fouls off the 4-seamer. And the count is evened at 3-2. Ian Happ and Kyle Tucker to follow. Sweeper, strike 3 call. Strikeout number 5 for Nick Pivetta. We're having ourselves a nice little pitcher's duel here tonight. 5 strikeouts for Pivetta. Matthew Boyd, I think he's got he only has 2. As we're in the bottom of the 4th inning, here's Ian Happ. Not too sure how much longer Pivetta's going to go for. Same thing for Boyd. They'll just keep going until Mike Schilt and Craig Counsell both had enough of their starters. And the bullpens will take care of the rest. Here's a 1-1 to Pivetta. Fouls it up. One-two pitch. Fouled off once more. Should have gotten something to eat before the stream here. Strike 3. Ian Happ back-to-back strikeouts for Pivetta here in the bottom of the...
The designated hitter, Kyle Tucker.
Ball, that's too high. Nope.
2-0 now to Kyle Tucker. Sinker, strike 2.
2 strikes. Full.
The Detroit Tigers were singing Hank Jr. while celebrating their wild card victory against the Cleveland Guardians. That was probably the best wild card series out of the four.
Now batting.
Nick Pivetta allows his first walk here, Seiya Suzuki. Yeah, I would say that was probably the best
1-0.
wild card series was the Tigers Guardians. Like the Tigers, like they had a 15-game lead at one point, blew it. Guardians came back, won the division. Just for the Tigers to take 2 or 3. You had Scooble, who was dominant in game 1. Game 2, that was a nice little win for the Guardians, and then the Tigers took care of business in game 3 when they needed to.
That's a ball.
Best ball 2-2 to Suzuki. So now the Tigers will head to Seattle, play the Mariners, who won the division, the AL West, for the first time since 2001. This will also be the first time a Texas team won't make the playoffs since 2014. That was the last time either the Astros or the Rangers missed the playoffs. There's a grounder line to Bogarts at short, and we go to the 5th. Cronenworth, Fermin, and Tatis Jr. due up for San Diego when we return. No score here in the north side of... I have never been to Chicago. Hey, Braven's going on good, sir. There's a grounder to Bush. It goes foul. And it's 0-2. You know, it's funny, whenever I talk to someone, so it's like, I used to live in Texas growing up, and and of course a lot of people would ask where I'm from, and I would say I'm from Illinois, and they'd ask, oh, are you from Chicago? Or I tell them the town I'm from, and they'll ask how close is it to Chicago, and I'll be like 2 hours. Yeah, I'm like 2-3 hours away from Chicago, so... I mean, that's not exactly far, but I'm not exactly from Chicago. Like, I'm actually, I believe I'm closer to St. Louis than I am Chicago. It's either that or it's like the same distance. But yeah, like whenever I talk to people, like I've never been to Chicago. Like some people would be surprised. Some people, like I've actually had people get mad at me that I've never been to Chicago. It's like, well, I'm not from Chicago. As, who was that? That was, for me, and he went down on strikes. Alright, never mind. This is for me, and that was, Cronenworth. Cronenworth struck out.
Nope, that's a ball. Counts 1-0.
Though I'd love to visit Chicago. I've heard good things about it. I think the closest I've been to Chicago was like Juliet and Aurora, which are both like suburbs of Chicago, for those of you who didn't know. But I've never like been to Chicago like itself. Grounder to Shaw, throw to first in time, that's out number 2. Now bring in Tatis, he's walked and struck out in 2 trips to the plate. He also stole second, 1 of 2 stolen bases in this game for the Padres. That is hit down the line. It will go foul. Tatis had I believe, a 5.9 WAR 2025. Yep, 5.9, and then Machado had a 4.1 WAR.
Ball 2.
It's a cool sign. Good Boyd. Tatis with a base hit to right field. That is the third hit of the night for the Padres. And now bring in Luis Arias. Pick off throw to first, and Tatis goes back safely.
Ball one.
Slider misses, ball one.
No, that's off the plate. Ball two.
Off the plate, 2-0. There's a base hit in the left. Over to second is Tatis. 2-1, 2 out for the Padres. Also got a little Mike Schilt coaching first base today. Two on, 2 out. Here's Machado. He's walked and don't know what he did in the second at bat. I believe he grounded out. Yeah, he did. 2 on, 2 out. Here's the pitch from Boyd. There's another fastball fouled off.
Nope.
1-2 the count. Andrew Kittredge, and I didn't see who the other guy was winding up. Cubs have some action going on in their bullpen. This might be the last inning for Matthew Boyd. He's thrown 93 pitches in this game. And he ends the inning with a strikeout. 4 hits for the Padres. They've scored 0 runs.
The catcher, touchdown.
Bottom of the inning coming up, no score. John Sciambi, Chris Singleton. Supposed to be the commentators today, but they have the day off. They're allowing me to call this game. John Sciambi is actually the guy for the Cubs in real life. He has their TV games for Marquee Sports. I know a lot of people really like John Sciambi, but if I'm going to be honest, I kind of don't. I'm not too big of... I don't really care for how he calls the game, but... And also, it's like him and Len Casper, who used to do the games for the Cubs when they were still at WGN after Chip Carey left for the Braves, I guess, but...
The batter, number 7, shortstop, Dansby.
Here's Dansby Swanson.
Ball one, no.
Fastball up high, ball 1. Also, I don't know if it's just me or not, but I do miss Matt Vasgersian doing the MLB The Show games.
That's outside.
Fastball misses 3-0. Does Chris Singleton, is he a broadcaster in real life? Like, does he do... I think he works with MLB Network. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know.
Ball 4, take the base.
There's ball 4, 1 on with 2 outs. Pizzetto with 2 walks here today. This might be his last inning too.
Yep, that ball went out.
If not, then they're going to try to push him to the 6th inning. Here's Matt Shaw. Pickoff throw to first, and Swanson goes back safely. Here's a 1-0. Shaw into right field. Tatis is back, and he's going to make the play. Into 5 here in the north side of Chicago. No score. Drew Pomeranz, former Padre, comes in relief for Matt Boyd here in the top of inning number 6. He will face the middle of the Padre lineup: Jackson Burrell, Alexander Bogaerts, and Ryan O'Hearn. Counsell, a big fan of his lefties, I can see. Really enjoys left-handed pitching. In one of my road to the shows, I have a two-way player on the Tigers, and the entire pitching staff are all left-handed pitchers. Turk Skubal, Garrett Crochet, there's my character, all 3 big lefties, and then forget who the other 2 starters are. I have to take a look, but 0-2 pitch to Morel. Already has a hit tonight. There's a knuckle curve. He lets it go by. Ball 1. Not too sure which American League Wildcard Series I'm going to do after this. Probably end up doing Red Sox-Yankees, just because, I mean, it's Red Sox-Yankees. Could do Tigers and Guardians just to keep things in the Midwest. I don't know, but what I do know is Drew Pomeranz records a strikeout. A 7-pitch at bat against Jackson Morel. Here's Alexander Bogaerts. Let's see what's the weather going to be like this weekend here in Bloomington Normal. Maybe today in the mid 8 until around 8 p.m. that it's going to be